What is up, subs? Reese back with another fishing video for XanderFishing, and today we are going to be doing some fall fishing at a clear water pond that I know about. I've actually been there before, filmed some on the surface stuff, but what we're really going to be trying to focus on today is a new bait, a new topwater frog rig, I guess. It's kind of like a harness. It's hard to explain. I'm in the garage filming the intro. We are going to get today started. It's been a while since I have filmed, or a while since my last upload, and at the end of the video I will explain that. But we are going to get down to the pond, start fishing, grab our water, stay hydrated, and hopefully have a good, quick little pond sesh, so stay tuned. Alright, so we have made it out to the little pond. Actually, not really a little pond. Here is the clear water pond. It's pretty much a sandy bottom. It's fairly shallow except for the back end, which we will be focusing on mainly in this video. I'm going to show you guys the bait in this first little area just to give you guys a look at it. And as you guys can tell, there's a little bit of wind. The vegetation has definitely died down in this pond. The topwater we are using isn't for necessarily running it across mats. This bait is really going to shine in your sparse grass, you know, your dying grass, and grass that's not as necessarily clumped up as other grass mats and such. It'll be really nice running this bait over some shallow hydrilla flats, etc. And the bait we will be fishing is a green fish Ploppin Toter. And this bait is basically a switched around whopper plopper. So basically that little plopping prop that is in the back of a whopper plopper is now on the front of your little soft plastic frog. Soft plastic frog we'll be fishing is a Zoom horny toad and a green pumpkin. I'm gonna keep it simple, and as well as having a jig head on this little presentation, give you a little bit better casting ability. Overall, just a really cool little frog mod. It's new from iCast 2017. They just got it in at my local Bass Pro. Had to pick it up, try to film a video, get a couple frog bites before winter rolls in. It is 75 degrees right now. That water temp is probably anywhere from 65 to 75. No reason fish shouldn't be moving around. A little bit of chop, but with that golden prop, should be able to turn up some water, as well as the legs on the rivet frogs. We'll give it a nice action, hopefully get a couple good topwater bites. Hookup ratio should honestly be fairly good with this topwater bait. You guys can see that open exposed hook, and that is also why it is not exactly weedless. So that is going to be it. We're going to get to tossing around this little Ploppin Toter. Couple fall topwater fish for you guys. Hopefully have a good video. Fishing has been fairly slow. I will explain that to you guys later on in the video, so stay tuned towards the end. I'm going to stop talking. I'm talking kind of quick. Hopefully you guys kind of caught everything. This is a cool little bait. I'm just really excited to start fishing. We do have the fluke to back it up in case the frog bite isn't exactly really on. So expect a little bit of fluke fishing. Let's do it. So we are going to make our first cast with the Ploppin Toter. Check it out. I want to see if this bait floats. We're going to show you guys a little bit of third person. So first impressions, kind of sad it doesn't float. I wasn't really thinking it would, just because that's not a lot of flotation in that little bitty piece of foam. And it actually runs fairly well. It's basically exactly like a buzzbait. You can just throw a horny toad on there. A little bit smaller, a little bit more compact than an actual buzzbait, but it does turn quite a bit of water. It works really well at just kind of a slow to medium slow retrieve. Keeping it steady. It chops really well. It's not too bad in the water. I'm actually pleased with it. It should get bit, no problem. It's not anything insanely crazy like I was kind of hoping for, but we're gonna catch some fish. Move back to the corner now, move to the deeper side now. But one more thing I want to mention is when you're fishing this Ploppin Toter, you can just throw it on any frogging gear. Since I'm fishing kind of open water right now, got some 20-pound P-line UV on there. Oh, missed another one. But you guys could probably get away with braid. Just throw it on a frogging stick, any kind of heavy bait casting setup, so you can really penetrate that jig hook. Already had 2 bites. In the wind, hopefully we can kind of stir up something big. The big one's at this pond. Oh, geez, there's another one. There's a lot of little fish in here. That's why we brought the fluke, just in case we want to play around with some little guys. but typically the bigger fish in this pond that I have caught have all been on topwater. See what I mean? There's the first fish. Hey, at least we're catching frogfish in the fall on the Ploppin Toter. That was actually my third bite. See, buddy, back in that clear water. Oh yeah, this is what I needed. When I'm pond fishing, I kind of tend to steer away from the spots that I know are really good, just because it's not challenging yourself as an angler, etc. And I don't like to make the same content typically, but sometimes you just kind of have to do it. We got to come to the juice spots now and then. This bait turns so much water. Essentially, you have 3 props on there, 3 components. I bet this bait would really excel night fishing. A ribbit toad is actually one of my favorite baits to throw at night, and with that extra prop, I bet you will get smashed. It's definitely different. It is a different concept. Definitely having a little bit more weight with that lead head that's on this harness is definitely a better advantage. You can chunk this thing pretty dang far. This bait might really benefit from having a swivel tied onto it. Kind of spins a little bit, and it's honestly basically just a big inline spinner. I was thinking I could put my fluke on here. There's a little jig head that you slide your horny toad onto. You don't necessarily have to run this bait as a topwater. It actually doesn't perform too bad if you just kind of let it sink and slowly retrieve it. A little bit of a inline spinner, a little bit of a spinner bait, whopper plopper hybrid we got going on today. Where are the fish at? We had a couple committing to it when we got here. All right, Toad, your time is over. Give you guys a look at that jig head I'm talking about. The fluke might actually run a little bit better. Was it worth $8, Reese? Was it worth $8? Oh! How did he come off? Not the best topwater conditions. The wind hopefully will die down in maybe an hour and a half or so. But we're getting bit. Even though it's slow, we're getting bit. Alright, so one hookup. We missed multiple bites with the Ploppin Toter. We're going to set it down for just a moment. A little bit too windy. I can't really kind of judge this bait just because these aren't the best topwater conditions, as you guys can tell. So we're going to pick up the fluke, try to locate these fish. This is a fairly good sized pond, but they're definitely in here. Definitely in the water. Fish are in the pond. Not a giant bass by any means, but definitely a good fish. Look at how he ate that fluke. That fluke is gone. Ow. Sweet. Put up a really good fight. We're fishing this fluke on a 7/6 medium light action spinning rod, 10-pound braid, pin, Fierce 2 reel. Little guy put up a very nice fight. Always fun catching fish on a light spinning rod. So, fluke fishing in the fall, setting down the Ploppin Toad prop. Ploppin Toad, Teeter, Totter, plopping toad, setting down the topwater bait, picking up good old Mr. Fluke, catching a couple bass. It's kind of hard to feel the bite just because it's so dang windy. Didn't really think about how windy it was going to be out today, but not bad. That fish put up a very good fight. We're going to do it again. Quick release. So we caught 2 fish on the fluke, 1 fish on the Ploppin toad Toter. Gonna try to catch just a couple more on this bait. The wind's calmed down a little bit. Bait's not running too terribly bad. Jeez, man. The hookup on it isn't too great. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe it's because that jig hook is kind of spinning. Fish number 2, Ploppin toad plopper. We've actually had a couple bites, quite a few. They're just little fellas, but see how they're getting the hook? That's what's kind of confusing me. I'm thinking more or less they're hitting it right here, and I'm not really getting it in their mouth. But some cold topwater bass. Thanks, little guy. No! No! Dang, that was a good one. That was probably the best fish of the night. Jeez. That one's gonna hurt. That one's gonna hurt a little bit. Keep on going. Keep on going. You could honestly fish this little Ploppin toad Toter without any soft plastic at all. I bet it would still get bit. Oh, I can't believe we missed that fish. That was a good one. Dang, another one. Missed him. I don't know what. Oh, big fish right there. Big fish right there. They're going crazy. I'm going crazy. What is happening? They want it. They want the bait. Oh my gosh, see, look at that. Look at him going crazy right there. Gotcha. Yes, baby. Fall topwater fishing. Solid, solid fish. Whew. Look at that. I don't know how many times this fish just ate the Ploppin toad plopper, Ploppin toad teeter, Toter plopper, whatever you want to call it. That was incredible. The one thing about this bait, man, it will twist your line up. Look at that. 3-pounder, 2 3/4. Epic, epic fish. I'm just letting this fish revive a little bit. She's about to go right back to that clear water. Gonna eat some more bait fish before the winter. What a stunning animal. Man, wind has calmed down. Perfect, perfect fish to maybe end the video. Might make a couple more. Ploppin toad Toter. Who would have thought? They're actually eating it better when there was no plastic on it. Oh my gosh. That's big, whatever that is. Next cast. Oh my gosh. I don't know. felt big. Sure as heck put up a good fight. Whew. Boom. That is what, the third fish? Thought she was a lot bigger. Got a little excited after that last one. Next cast, right in that same area. Thank you, baby. Go back to eating. Awesome. Maybe we'll make a couple more. That's the first one that is actually like committed to it while it's under the surface. Oh my goodness. That would have been the second one. All right. Made a couple more casts over there, but sadly, guys, can't stay too much longer. I actually work a night shift. Got to be there in probably 45 minutes or so. Got a little bit of hiking to do on the way out. Gonna have to call it, but it actually was a pretty good day. The Ploppin toad plopper, this bait over here, this little hybrid whopper plopper buzz bait, inline spinner, whatever you want to make of this bait. It's pretty cool. It's a cool, unique design. That's why I got it. Wanted to catch some fish on it. It actually got bit really well over there, and I bet it'll get bit really well at night. And if I was able to stay here longer, I bet I could have caught quite a few more fish. This bait will definitely excel in open water, low light conditions, a little bit of chop on the water, spread out grass, etc. Cool new bait from iCast. Gave it a shot, caught some fish. That 3 pounder, 2 3/4 pounder was a really nice way to end the video. That fish actually ate quite a few times. And then we caught 2 other fish on the fluke, or at least I think 2. But that's it. A couple more things I got to talk to you guys about. Since my last video, I had a broken hand. I had the cast on. It's off. We are all healed up, doing good. And I also want to talk to you guys about something kind of goofy. So in the last video, I mentioned I was going to be doing a swim bait unboxing, doing some sort of a cast to catch. And the bait that I picked out was an 8-inch Huddleston, ready to fall 5. I'm going to show you guys that unboxing. Legendary swim bait right there in a rainbow trout color. We have some Rains and some Biwa. I'll give you guys a look at these soft plastics. I'm pretty excited this unbox. So as you guys can see, got some JDM craws, the HUD, Tackle Warehouse shirt, some Mindit, and then this happened on my last cast after fishing for probably 2.5 hours. So it is later in the day, and this is how it's going. We hooked the only log, like in the entire lake, like the most inconvenient situation ever, and it was getting dark, didn't have the waterproof on, and I didn't want to walk out there because I didn't know how deep it was, etc. So we ended up snapping off. And as you guys can tell again, I went back the next day, tried to turn up just about every log I could to find that Huddleston, and it was just probably somewhere in the mud around my feet, which is a real bummer. But not giving up on the HUD. May have another one in the mail, maybe getting another one soon, so stay on the lookout for that. And one more thing, this week it is fall break. I'm officially on fall break today, which is pretty exciting because I'm going to be going to Kansas City, maybe Norman, Oklahoma, over fall break, doing some fishing, doing some travel vlogs, stuff that I love, going to some really cool places, seeing family and friends. It should be a really good fall break. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't, go down below, go ahead and do that. Just so you guys can watch me fish, you know what I mean? I mean, so kidding. I talk to a camera and I have a really bad haircut. I don't really know what else to say. Gotta hike out of here. That's gonna be rough. Pretty stoked on catching those topwater fish though. That was such a great feeling, and that's just about over. Won't be able to do any of that really in winter. Enough talking to the camera. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys go out there, enjoy nature, and catch some bass. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Pew.